Hello, hello. Hello, good people. Happy Wednesday. You're here. Let's see who's in the tea room, who's coming to the tea room. It is 12 o'clock on the drop. You know what it is. It's tea o'clock. All right, we're going to get started in just a minute. I'm going to let folks come on in. I've got my tea. I'm drinking some a detox tea by Pucka. I think that's the name of the company. Turn my phone down. All right, let's see who's here. What are you drinking? Hi, Kevin. Oh, Kevin, you forgot your tea. Come on now. William, you always show up, and I appreciate that so much. Hey, William. I'm super excited. We have a great show in store for you guys today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with our topic, which is glowing into your purpose, into your potential. So this topic really encapsulates, I think, the guest that I have, my special guest, and it also encapsulates what I think we are going through on a global level with all the social unrest, and that is finding the light. It's hard to do that sometimes in the midst of chaos and what some would describe darkness. So today is all about finding that glow internally and shining it out, because glowing is knowing. So, when I was doing my meditation and my MediTEAtions and my journaling, as I do, y'all, some thoughts were coming to me, and I'm thinking, and I want to run this by you, and you let me know your thoughts, that your inner knowing leads to your outer glowing. And what I mean by that is that when I'm aligned to my core beliefs and values, and things that I do are in alignment with that, then there's an inner glow. There's a je ne sais quoi. There's an element to you that shines forth, that draws people to you. And you've seen it. You've seen the people that you're drawn to, and when opportunities and people come to you, I think it's when we stay centered in our knowingness. And for me, it really comes down to my self-worth and value not being up for debate. Now, this is a constant struggle. This is something I move through and grow through and glow through all the time. It's not an end result. This is a process. So today I'm really opening up the conversation about the process to it. And I'm realizing also that when I step into my authenticity, there's a luminosity. So there's a luminosity to your authenticity when you are being who you are unapologetically. I think we're seeing that culturally, what's going on, that we are taking a stand for who we are as people. And I'm interested in having that conversation on how we're doing that on a personal level. And I think the question that I want to put on the table is, what untapped potential is awaiting my recognition? And when I started thinking about the title of potential and purpose usually lives somewhere right behind fear. When I have overcome a fear or did the inner work to remove some type of belief, some type of lie I told myself, then I found that I'm living more aligned to my purpose. Hi, Christiane King. One of my dearest friends is here. You glow, girl. You glow too. Gresseline Jean Philippe is here. Hi, hola. I see you guys. Okay, Karen, stay on track because I'm getting off topic. So the question I have for us is, what untapped potential is awaiting our recognition? And that leads me to what is mine to do. And I'm getting ready to introduce my special guest, Vanessa Jean Simmons. Honey, I had to say your full name. Because she, let me get rid of this so I can give her proper due. Vanessa, as we all know, is an incredible actress. She's an entrepreneur. We know and love her as the daughter of hip hop pioneer Rev Run, of the legendary rap group Run DMC. And she is a powerhouse in her own right, finding and creating her own lane and giving us girl goals the whole time. She is a mother and entrepreneur, a fashionista and creative director, as I said. And I love this. This is Glitter and Lace. a fashion-forward mommy and daughter clothing line that she has with her daughter, Ava Marie. And she's teaching her all the magic and becoming a mogul in the making, which I think is so important right now. I also am inspired by Vanessa because she's the creative visionary and mastermind of an all-natural skincare line called Sugar Me, with lip scrubs and body scrubs. And it's all about self-care and self-love right now, which is so potent and important right now. And I think that I have the distinct honor and privilege of speaking about Vanessa on a personal level, being one of her castmates on our show, Craig Ross Jr.'s Monogamy, as many of us love her playing Caroline, and she does it in a way that no one can. She has such fire and such authenticity and vulnerability with this role. And I think, we see Vanessa in other acting projects, but I'm particularly proud and inspired by this because she's playing a woman who's struggling with her identity, her sexual identity, and finding her place in the world. And that isn't easy to do as a thespian. And you can find our show streaming on umc.tv in the States and Netflix worldwide. I'm also really inspired, Vanessa, by your latest adventure, which is a 30-day fitness challenge that you're doing with Eric Bigger, I believe. And I love what you said. You said it's about showing up for yourself. So I want to thank you for showing up for us. So without further ado, I am going to introduce my wonderful guest, Vanessa Simmons. Hi.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I can't see you.
I am wonderful. How are you? You can't hear me?
I can't see you. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you are. Okay. I'm sharing the screen. I wanted to give you your full space. So happy to have you here, Vanessa. How is everything going for you in the midst of the pandemic and all the craziness?
Things are going, but I would definitely say that it's been going off what you were talking about earlier, going in the inside to really find out what our position and what our, responsibility is and everything that's going on. It's been a really intense, but we've been keeping happy vibes flowing in our house. I have a 6-year-old. We try to keep everything positive and happy and uplifting.
Yes.
So
yes.
We're good and I can't complain. We're healthy. And that's what's important to me right now.
Yeah, that health is front and center. And I have to ask you before we dive in, what tea are you drinking? I'm drinking a detox tea. What are you sipping on?
So I'm obsessed with yogi tea. And today I'm drinking a healthy skin tea. So for the past week, I have not let my fiance have any coffee. I haven't had any coffee because there's so many benefits to tea and herbal tea. Look into it. So I was inspired by our chat coming up, and I banned coffee for the week, and I'm drinking.
I love it.
Healthy skin tea.
I love it.
Obsessed.
And you know what? Sometimes I have some type of stomach stuff. My husband can tell you, I'm like, I have a sensitive stomach. So I can't eat certain things. But since I've really been committed to drinking tea, I've actually been doing great. There's so many healing properties to the botanicals and herbal medicine. So I love it, y'all. So right now is the time as we are, like Vanessa said, going within and just really grounding what's important. So my question for you, Vanessa, is based on what you're saying is, given the time period, have your values changed in any way? Are things more important to you now? Or how do you stay aligned to your values in the midst of this?
Absolutely. I feel like this whole thing has strengthened a lot of my core values especially family. Because since March, we've been forced to just kind of be together 24/7, which has been a blessing for me because I'm always on the move, always on the go, moving so fast that sometimes you need to slow down to appreciate, things that are right there in front of you. And I've had time to actually do that and really get into my purpose as a human being. It's been a slowdown, although things have been hectic and a lot of heartbreaking things happening and everything with Black Lives Matters, and you want to be involved there and you want to give your voice, and I want to share my platform because I have a big one. So it's been a lot, but blessed.
So, and I love that. Definitely blessed. And Gresseline said, purpose lies behind the fear. Yes, absolutely. So speaking of purpose, because I have found that when I move past a fear, and I've been very vocal about it, one of my fears was actually creating MediTEAtions, because I have these conversations with friends and family, anyone who knows me and is close to me knows that I like having these type of conversations. But I had a thought that was saying, oh, you can't do that publicly. You can't put that out in the space. People will judge you. And as I move past that, I'm finding that I'm stepping more into my purpose. What are some of the things that you do to manage your fear when there's a voice saying, Vanessa, don't do that. You can't do that.
It comes up all the time. Fear is what that has always taught me is false evidence appearing real. And it's there in place to kind of stop us from our destiny, stop us from our You know what helps me a lot? Meditation. I discovered meditation quite some time ago with my uncle, but I really got into it as, after I had my daughter, because I really had to find that own peace myself in between taking care of her. My own peace. And different meditations really help, in deep breathing. That allows you to get really introspective, see what's going on, so you can deal with it, and then live a better life on the outside. It really works. It sounds taboo. People think it's like, oh, you go, No, it
right.
Our mind is so powerful, and what we're feeding it is essentially how we're living. We don't realize what we're feeding, our minds is what we're giving back to the earth, because that's knowledge we have. That's what we spread. So.
I love that. William said, I'm sipping the Yogi Relax Mind tea today. First time trying it. Yeah.
Love
and
it.
Latasha, love it too. And hi, Latasha. She said, and Latasha, I just want to shout you out. You've taken such a stand for Craig Ross Jr.'s monogamy. She's in the fan page, and she's so active and such a supporter of our show. So I just want to thank you for everyone to hear that. Yeah, she definitely is. False evidence appearing real. Absolutely. So some of the things that I do is I actually write down the belief that I have, and I write it on one side of the paper. Y'all can see my little chicken scratch here. And then I draw a line and I write what could be, meaning if there's a belief about how I can't do something, I start to lean into, well, if I could do it, what would it look like? What would it feel like? And that's one of the things that I take with my breath work. Like you said, I love that. And I breathe and I try to move through the fear. Do you have any other tools that you can share with us that you do as a busy mom and entrepreneur to move through those fears?
Trying to find balance, I feel like, is a never-ending cycle when you put kids into the equation. So that's always my goal during the day. And I would say that journaling helps a lot.
Yes.
So we have some technology. Sometimes we neglect the good old paper and pen, but there's power in that, and releasing what's in your mind on paper or writing down your goals. It makes it real to me. And journaling stuff out, getting things. I do this practice that I learned from the Artist Way book years ago called Morning Pages, where you just do stream of consciousness writing, and it just allows you to empty your brain.
Yes, I love it. I do that too.
I love it. And I'm obsessed.
Yes.
And any days I find any weeks that I fall off and I don't do it, I get a lot of clutter in my mind.
Yep. Vanessa, honey, I'm just like you. I love it. And my best friend Audrey and I, we started doing it years ago. But it is a brain dump, y'all. Where you got to clear space. And what's interesting, do you find that when you do that, things start to kind of resolve themselves? Like if you put it on paper. It's like the universe kind of orchestrates it in some way where it takes care of it, because it doesn't have real estate in your mind and in your psyche anymore. And so I love that you do that. We never talked about that. Like I said, you and I had great conversations on set when we're filming. Yeah. And I love that there's so much outer beauty to you. And that is the light, the luminosity that I was talking about. And I think it really is. And we all have it.
Yes, we do.
It's about not so much making it or creating it. It's about making space for it. You know what I mean? Making it welcome. And so that really is a lot of times removing the toxins, whether it's people or conversations. Often it's our own thoughts, so that it can have a space to shine through. You know what I mean?
And it's important to do, because I find that I've had experiences where I'm not expressing myself, or I'm not sharing or dumping that out. And it piles up, and your luminosity does go away. I experienced skin problems, weight gain, and all of that. You talked earlier about my weight loss challenge. This is all connected. It's more than just losing weight. It's all connected to dumping stuff out of my system in a physical manner. And that
Yes.
really brings that glow. And I have experienced that and gotten so much clarity off of just giving myself to that challenge for 30 days.
I love that. And Grisly, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, beautiful. So please forgive me. The 5-second rule helps me too. When I think to do something that fears me, I do something about my desired outcome. Within 5 seconds of the thought inspiration, write, journal, talk about it, research it, whatever. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And to what you were saying, Vanessa, I too find that if I want to move things in my life, I have to move my body, which is note to self, because I haven't been as active. And it's happened so many times. And not that this should be the end result, but I distinctly remember making a commitment to go work out. And I was working and I was moving my body, which is a form of moving meditation. And just as I finished, I got a call from Bentley Kyle Evans to do a series. I mean, it was literally like that. And I'm not saying that should be the point of us doing it. But I just want to inspire us all and remind myself really that, like you said, it's the dumping of all of it and doing it in physical form. And you also said it's really about showing up for yourself. Tell us more about that.
Showing up for yourself is really like putting down a goal or whatever you're trying to reach, and make sure that, you know, it's personal and it's for you, and that you show up for yourself. And the way to do that for me personally is write it down. So I know that I'm hitting everything I need to hit and I'm making progress. And progress is really what drives me, what propels me. It's not the perfection. It's more so the progress towards everything I'm putting towards. That's what really, you know, gets me there. And I will say the thing about moving meditation, I talk a lot about that during the 30-day challenge that I have. I talk a lot about setting intentions before your workout, because we are energy. So if we stop moving, things stop moving in our life. The minute we start moving, then things are able to flow to us because we're moving, we're shaking that energy up.
Exactly. Exactly.
I've had experiences, like you said, where I will work out, do a quick, maybe even jump rope, and I'll get calls. Things will start.
Exactly.
And I don't do it for that purpose, just to feel better. But it's just is what we all need to realize.
And so tell for those who maybe are feeling inspired, and I certainly am, how can they connect with you to do the 30-day challenge? Talk to us a little more about that. Is it still going on, or what is that?
It's the 30-day challenge is still going on. It's with my trainer, Mike T, that I've worked out with for forever. He's an awesome, amazing source of motivation and encouragement for me. And we put together this challenge to encourage a lifestyle change. You know, they say it takes 21 days to make a true lifestyle change. And it's more about than just the physical. This is about a full mind, body, soul transformation. We give you food recommendations. We give you a mindset guide to go through the different days, because there are going to be days where you don't feel as motivated, but those are the days that you need to really commit to yourself and give in, because that's when the results come, mentally, physically, emotionally. So this challenge means so much to me. I shared a lot about gaining weight on Growing Up Hip Hop this season and how it made me feel uncomfortable, and even doing TV shows like Monogamy and things like that. You know, I want to look a certain way, but I realized less about the look and more about how I'm feeling about myself.
I love that.
That's why I did the challenge. So yes, the physical attributes and the physical changes will come, but this is what you're getting is so much more valuable. Like the clarity I feel compared to where I was 3 months ago when we were filming that show, it's like a completely different person. So come on board. It's not too late to join. We have cash prizes and all types of incentives.
Oh, awesome.
Guys, to the point where you want to be. So come join, check us out. The link is in my bio on Instagram, Vanessa J. Simmons right now.
I love that. Thank you, Vanessa. Let's see what hi, mommy. I see you're on here too. Clarissa's honey. Hi. Let's see if there are any other questions here before I move on. So, Vanessa, I've been sitting with this idea of potential and potentiality, and I'm actually going to throw something up. Potential, noun, latent qualities or abilities that may be developed and lead to future success or usefulness. And I love the idea that there's this untapped reservoir that we all have. And I'm finding it within myself. And like you, I'm kind of, this whole pandemic has put me in a place where I have to really confront myself and some things that, you know, aren't really comfortable to look at. But as I move through them, I'm tapping into this whole unknown space in my life that I can bring forth new gifts that I didn't know was there, quite frankly. And I'm just wondering, how does that land for you? Like, what's going on for you around potential? And like, my question for you too, meditation people, folks in the tea room, let me know in the comments, but I'll start with you, Vanessa.
I'm happy you asked me that, because I have been, since the pandemic began, like I said, going inside and trying to find and push those things that don't serve me and let them go.
Yes.
For me, I find that full out discipline is really important to my success. And I found that out, I'm 36, but like, I mean, I've always known, you discipline, you do this, you get success. But I really learned it from a personal standpoint of really dedicating myself to each and everything I wanted to do in my life during the pandemic. I wanted to make my closets look like Pinterest closets for the longest. I was given all my closets look like Pinterest, and I'm happy.
Closets, right.
For me, it's about finding that balance in life, in my personal life and my career, and mixing up. And I feel like I need the discipline to be able to have that reality and have that dream. I don't have to be so hard on myself, but it's just going to take like discipline to get there. And I've been disciplining myself since we've been in.
I like that you bring that up, because I'm looking for a question that I pose, which is, are you in love with the results, or are you in love with the process? And if I start to ask myself that, then I can put myself more in the mind frame of being about the process, which is about discipline. You know what I mean? Which is being more committed to seeing it through rather than getting it right. I kind of have this perfectionism thing going. And so I've been really deconstructing that. You too? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do. And I had to go with progress over perfection.
Yes.
And letting go of perfection really tremendously. Because that was with my 30-day challenge, the reason I created that.
Yeah. And I have a tendency to start things with the gusto, and then I don't necessarily finish them out. Does anybody else go through that, or is that just me?
That's why I have the whole discipline thing that started coming in. It's like, stick to something,
So if you guys have any questions or comments, please drop them in there. I'm going to ask all of us, how do you define success? Like, what is success for you? I have some thoughts on it, but I'd love to get you guys' opinion on, what does success mean to you? How does that show up for you?
I would definitely say with a healthy balance in life, that's what success would be. Because growing up, I never imagined what it would be like to have a family. Like, I always wanted it. That was like a dream, but it takes a lot of work. And I also have really big goals and dreams as a professional. So for me, it's finding that balance, being able to take my daughter to school in the morning and still go off to set and do, work with some amazing people. It's just like, and having time to take care of my home, to cook at night, I try to find that balance. And I think we talked about that a lot on set. Stuff. It's that healthy balance that I'm always striving to find. And I feel like that is my definition of success, having that balance, whatever that balance may be.
Yeah. For you. It's different for every person. You guys chime in on what that means for you. As I was thinking about the question, I think success ultimately means for me inner peace. And I know that sounds a little blah, blah, blah. But and inner peace can show up, because I understand, I get it. You can't pay your light bill with inner peace. You can't go to the grocery store and say, here, I'm going to give you some inner peace. So I get it. We have to, I want the other stuff too, the house, the cars, the material things. But I think none of that matters if there is turmoil and rage or depression or any of these other feelings that can come about, even though you may have the outer trappings of success. You know what I mean? And I'm really starting to get that. I mean, teachers and avatars and leaders since the beginning of time have told us that it's really about the inner qualities that matter. And I understand all that, but now I'm starting to really understand, overstand, and understand that. You know what I mean? Like, really get it's about, I'm guarding my peace as so much chaos is happening in the world. I'm understanding the true value of it. Let's see what Latasha is saying. I had to take my small accomplishments as being successful, yes, and be okay with that, because I did not consider myself successful if it was not a huge, you know what? I'm so guilty of that, Latasha. Yeah, that resonates with me. Of it's got to be some big Instagram post or some big thing, and no, nah.
Celebrate those successes because they're the things that will lead up to the bigger picture. Those are the things and the stepstones that lead to the bigger picture that you have. So we got to appreciate them to accumulate more.
Exactly. And like you were saying, the success of being with your daughter, being with family, of having that, and not taking that for granted. I had an example. My husband decided to let my almost 8-year-old daughter play in my makeup. He just thought that would be a good idea. And I got upset about that. I had just bought the new brushes and she had done some blush.
Dug into the eyeshadow crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure. Exactly.
I have
done all that. And I was upset about that, blah, blah, blah. And then I had a thought the next morning. I said, Caryn, you could really see that differently. And I didn't tell my husband that. So if you're listening, honey, baby, I'm sorry. I never apologize to you. But I could really see it as my daughter is here. She's healthy. We have time together. She's playing. She wants to be like mommy. And so what? It's a brush. You know what I mean? So it's just those perspective shifts that can lead you to inner peace and create a different color and tone to what you're experiencing. I love the balance of success. I think I'm going to adopt that as well. So much impact that I want to make. Yes. And we're here to make impact. Oh, there you are, Camille. I was looking for you. Raising the consciousness of humanity and the vibration of our planet. I love that. I don't know what you're addressing, but whatever it is, it's beautiful. What are your thoughts about that, Vanessa? I love that. Camille.
I think we need that. And I feel like part of my purpose of being here on Earth, and I grew up very privileged, I feel like it's part of my job to inspire and empower people, especially women. I just feel very strongly connected to empowering women, probably because I'm a woman, but I'm in a position in life where, I can reach out and I can uplift. And so I relate very much so to what Camille is saying, Dr. Fuller is saying. We need that today. And that's why I talk about meditation. That's why I talk about, the things that I talk about, because even if it's just a little bit I can get through. That's
right. Or a little seed that you can plant. Yeah. No, I love that you're doing that, Vanessa. And I feel like there's a responsibility, which is the ability to respond to the need in the moment. And the need in the moment is for us to, ground down just keeps coming to me. I'm just really feeling this energy of like connecting to the earth, connecting to ourselves, roots, soil, and deepness. That's what's coming up for me. Switching gears slightly, Kevin Foster. I have to hi, Kevin, who is one of our fabulous writers on Craig Ross Jr.'s Monogamy. Who Kevin's a boxer, so or used to box. So he really speaks for your character, Caroline or Carolina, as Carson calls you, right?
Yeah. You can't wake up if I'm Carolina.
Right.
I get it.
Well, he calls you that because he doesn't want to call you what your husband calls you. So that's his little deal. But anyway, Kevin is asking, do you prefer challenging acting roles or characters that are closer to your personality? Good question, Kevin.
Challenging acting roles for sure. And what I learned out that I love them through monogamy. It was always simple going and playing the girl next door, but monogamy was the first role that really challenged me. And then second season, child. But through doing that, I found out that I get so much more out of it. I feel so accomplished.
Wait till you see season 3.
I'm excited, and I've been checking my email daily for these scripts because I'm like,
I know.
What's gonna happen? I'm like,
Kevin can tell you, we were in the writer room doing some stuff, y'all. So yeah.
But I love that. And I'm literally training like a boxer right now. So with my challenge and everything, I'm getting ready because I want to play Caroline. I've been boxing. So y'all can throw that on me.
Right. Y'all see that jab that she did? I think that was in the pilot episode of season 1.
That was all your husband who taught me that. Exactly. Right.
Exactly. You know what? My husband, and he'll say this to me, I think the moment he started to fall in love with me, aside from the first time he met me, and I'm just playing, we were outside of my job and he was teaching me how to box. Are you here, honey? He might be with the kids swimming. Hi, Jessica with the Y. I saw a clip of you, Vanessa Monogamy, and my jaw dropped. You were so good. I'm I know, right?
Thank you so much. That means so much to me because, acting has been the thing. It's been my passion and I love storytelling, but it has been the most challenging thing for me to accomplish and get good roles and, just the nonstop learning. We never stop learning. I'm always in a master's class somewhere, learning more information, applying skills. So
I love that. And yeah, you really have stepped up to the plate with the role. And I love your response on The View. And I wanted to pull the clip, but I couldn't figure out the techie part. When, people were challenging you on playing a woman who was questioning her sexual identity. And you said something to the fact of, first of all, it's not you. Okay. It's not Vanessa. It's you're playing a role. And you said, I have the privilege of being a storyteller and I'm telling stories and I'm hoping that this can help other women who are going through this. And I thought that was so poetic and so beautiful and so on point. Tell me more about what you were thinking when you said that.
I've just always wanted to tell stories. Acting has always been something that I've wanted to pursue on a professional level, and to have the honor to tell stories on such a large platform where you can inspire and empower people, that's magical. That's, powerful. And when I got to play Caroline, of course, I was so scared to do that scene. I talked about it to everyone on set. I was so scared.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Jill Marie Jones shared with me, she's like, you could be helping other people that, are having problems identifying with themselves or finding themselves. So don't be afraid. She's like, embrace it. And I took her advice because I'm such a huge fan of Jill and I'm so lucky to be able to work with her. And I ran with it and it just stuck with me. I'm like, I could be helping someone. And lo and behold, I do receive messages from women all the time that are like, thank you for taking that role. Thank you for telling my story.
And those voices, exactly.
That's what
That's what it's about. And those voices are amplified. And yeah, and you do it powerfully. And I think in symbolism and metaphors, you may not, you may not be struggling with your sexual identity, but Caroline also seems to be trying to find her place in the world. So that might show up for you or I differently. So maybe it's not sex or a relationship, but it's your career or your path or your purpose, or to be in a relationship or not, or whatever it is. So I feel like your character is symbolic of a lot of things on a universal level that's healing. And that's the point of doing the art. Yeah.
I was able to add things into Caroline that are from my life, and I'm nothing like Caroline, but I was able to put in experiences just to give her deeper, meaning. The words more meaning.
Yeah, and you do that incredibly well. So I agree with you, Jessica. And I said, come on, season 3. I knew that was coming. I want to see if there's any other comments or questions if you guys have. So TL Legacy, thank you for being here. Appreciate your support. I hear more about Hollywood pros meeting with mental therapists nowadays. Do these brain dumps and meditations help decrease the need for therapists? Good question. Or is in conjunction with therapy? That's a really good question. That's honest. I can dig it.
Definitely in conjunction with therapy. I feel like for so long, maybe therapy was kind of taboo in the Black community and we didn't do a lot of therapy. And I feel like our generation is taking that on a little bit differently and understanding the power of being able to do these brain dumps. So I would definitely say if you feel like you need therapy, you feel like you need someone to talk to that's an outside party, I would say go for it. That's all helpful. But yeah, these morning pages do serve as a brain dump and can be very helpful in helping your mental state and how you go about your day. So, but definitely in conjunction.
I think so too. And I think, mental health now, Black mental health is entered the zeitgeist in a way where there isn't so much stigma and taboo, like you were saying. And so I echo what Vanessa says. And if you can't get it, although now there's so many online resources, and if you actually check my Instagram page in my stories, I've listed a lot of Black therapists in particular, because there's a cultural nuance and sensitivity, particularly right now, that I think therapists of colors can bring to the table. Obviously, it's your preference, but yeah, I think it's important, and that's a really good question. Legacy, thank you for asking that. Kevin. Vanessa, is there a character in history you like to play, past or present?
Dorothy Dandridge. I've been reading a lot about Freddie Washington, and I feel like her story isn't out there. I don't. I didn't know about her until, I learned a lot more about our culture in these past few weeks than I've learned in the past. And Freddie Washington was an actress who refused to play to pass as, her as a white woman. She wanted to play white, very light skinned.
Wow.
Activist. And her story isn't out there. And I would love to explore and hear more about her story,
I would love that too, because I wasn't aware of that. So thank you, Vanessa, for bringing that. But
love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Christy. Thank you for being here. Kels Wells? I thought that might be a friend of mine from elementary school. So much positivity. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that. My whole mission, as you were saying, Vanessa, is to, and I've said it before, is to be a distribution site of inspiration, to use my platform and my voice. And we all have it. It's not contingent on followers and your social media presence. It's really contingent on your inner presence and how you're showing up for people in your life, the people that you live with, the people that you work with, people that you're, living life, doing this life thing with. That's okay. Jessica is a licensed therapist. She said, I agree. Therapy can enhance us all in ways in all of our endeavors. It enhances our life as a whole. Yes. And follow Jessica's page. She drops a lot of wisdom and just truth bombs that help me when I'm scrolling. I like to feed my mind positive thoughts. So my recommendation, Kevin, stop it. Sorry, Kevin's being silly on the chat and catching my mind. I'm losing my thought. My recommendation is, if you have somebody that doesn't make you feel good when you're scrolling through right now, either snooze them, because now you can snooze people for 30 days, or get rid of it. Like right now, it's just all about guarding your energy and keeping your mental space and your heart pure and whole. That's what it is. Joshua said, this is a dope. Thank you, Joshua Paul. And you've been promoting the show. I appreciate it. This is a dope conversation. You're welcome, boo. Kevin's saying zeitgeist in the conversation. So let's keep moving forward. Now, we're moms, and Ava Marie and my eldest daughter is Karis Marie. We both have the Marie going. What was birthed in you? And I want us who are listening, if you're not a parent, to consider what is trying to birth itself through you right now. What is your next step? What's the thing that's seeking expression through you as she and I enter this kind of mothering, birthing conversation? So what was birthed through you becoming a mother, Vanessa? Like what changed, what transpired, what opened up?
So much. To be honest, the whole 9 months I was so nervous. I was like, I'm going to be responsible for a human life. I haven't got my life together yet. How can I do this? I had so many questions. I would call my mom every day with a new set of questions, and she would give me hurt. And it's going to come to you. I promise you. It's just going to be innate. And I would say having Ava Marie has given me a whole new perspective on life. I see life sometimes through the most innocent eyes. And it's just given me a whole new perspective. She's inspired me in a way that I didn't know could happen. I thought when I had my child, my whole life had to change, and maybe my goals and dreams were behind me. And
oh yeah, I went through that too.
And there's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, but I was just worried. I'm a very ambitious person. I like to keep going. Once she came, she inspired me in a way that I never imagined. We started this Mommy and Me line because she's into fashion how I am. So teaching her the game of fashion and the business early on is so special to me. And she's just birthed a whole new round of inspiration in me that I, did not have before. I grew up I grew up a lot.
I do too. And that resonates with me. And my oldest daughter, Karis Marie, who's a Leo like me. You're a Leo too. We're both Leos. Yeah. Actually, your birthday is 5 days before her birthday. And then my birthday is 5 days after hers. So it's 5, 5, and 5, 10, and 15. Patience. I didn't realize how little patience. Yeah. And that's been hard for me to confront within myself, because I really have to work through that and to allow a space for her to be her own person and not what I think she's supposed to be. And that can be one of the most challenging things to do as a parent. You know what I mean? So I was wondering if you struggle with that at all, if you have some tips, because I'll take them.
Sorry, I was a little distracted.
Oh, it's okay. With letting your child be who she's supposed to be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and not imposing your will, your ideas on who they're supposed to be. So,
yes, I'm very attentive to Ava, and I listen to everything she says, even the little things, because I do think it's important to let her be creatively free. And that's even how we started the Mommy and Me line with Glitter and Lace, is allowing her to be creatively free, even if it means arguing in the morning over what she's going to wear to school. We're going to figure it out.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing, you know, just to let her be creatively free and watch her grow up like that. So I allow it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think I could take on listening more. So in the vein of birthing, I know you have a lot of stuff on your plate right now. You have the Shop Glitter and Dance, I think is the Instagram, or Glitter and Lace, excuse me. Glitter and Lace, yeah. And you have the fitness challenge, you have your pastry, you have so many things. Sugar. What would you say you're birthing right now? And my question is for the audience too. What are you birthing right now? Like what's coming forth for you right now?
My goal and what I plan to birth through all of this is empowerment. Before, all of my things, all of the projects that I have, they connect in the way that they're meant to empower people to know that they can live their best possible life. So Glitter is not just about my daughter and allowing her to be creatively free, but also about empowering our roles as mothers. And we need that sometimes to know, you know, our role as mothers is appreciated, accepted, and loved. So I like to empower mothers through that, through Sugar Me. That's to empower us to take more me time that we need. After becoming a mother, I realized how thin our time is spread.
Yes.
And how little time would be available to go to the spa and do the things that I did before having a child. So I created Sugar Me to empower us to take a little more time to give ourselves that extra self-care that we may need. So we've made all of our ingredients all natural, but also very vitamin rich. So you're getting a like spa-like treatment all on your own in your bath. So that was
I love that.
moms. Anyone can use it. It's so natural. You can even use the products on your kids. But the goal and the purpose and the real reason behind it was because as a mother, I wasn't getting that extra me time. So that's where that was created. And everything I do, the projects, the acting, everything is just meant to empower.
I love that. And that goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning, which is really being aligned to your core beliefs and values. And it seems that everything that you're doing is aligned for that, which is great. And I feel that I'm on track for that too. But I want to expand the conversation to what do you do if you aren't feeling aligned, if you can't do the things, or if it feels like you can't do the things that are aligned to your core values and beliefs. I mean, I feel privileged to be an actress and a producer and to do the things that I do. And I'm also keenly aware that everyone isn't in the space where they can necessarily do what their heart's calling and soul desire is. So I'd like for you and I to dialogue, and you guys too, drop it in the comments. What are some of the things that we can do if we aren't feeling like we're living our true purpose? What are some steps? You guys have go ahead.
Sometimes it's good to just take a breather. If you feel like you've been pounding the pavement, going, and you're not getting anything through, it's good to just take a step back, practice that breathing exercises, practice meditation. And sometimes that's how the inspiration flows to you by just taking that break. Sometimes it just needs a breather. It needs to sit over there for a while you work on yourself and then jump back on it. And things will kind of line up and, you know, come together. That's for me personally what I have to do. Sometimes I have to take a full week or 2 weeks off of something if it's not working and get a different perspective.
Yeah, I love that, the different perspective. Thank you, Lauren, for being here. I'm glad you made it. Let us know what tea you're drinking. I want to add to that there's two components, and one that my mother always has to remind me, and this started as a kid. She said, you don't take the cake out of the oven until it's done baking. And what that basically means is that our dreams and our goals and our desires aren't just for us, and that there's other cooperative components, other people behind the scenes that are going to benefit from our blessing, and they have to be in place also. You know what I mean? So it's like this invisible web that's organizing all the parts to your dream and your manifestation. So sometimes you have to be over here pruning and, you know, getting the weeds out of your garden and developing your skill set or your mindset or your heart set, while the other parts of your vision are getting aligned also. I think we can understand that when it comes to a soulmate or a partner, because, you know, that person has to be ready too, and you guys meet and then hopefully build a life together. But it also applies to our career path, to our desires of the heart, and I think our soul expression, that there are other people and other components. And so I love what you said, Vanessa. It's about taking a break and blooming where you're planted, and attending to the things that you can, while a bigger force, the grand architect of the universe, is pulling everything together for your highest and greatest good. Yeah. So
sometimes you're watering, sometimes not blooming, you're watering, you're prepping the dirt, you know, you're putting the nutrients that it needs. So
exactly. Ricky Byers-Beckwith has a lyric that says the seed needs both darkness and light to grow. And we love the sunshine and light, but we forget that it also needs the darkness to germinate and to grow and to have the strong roots, so that when the winds of change and challenge come, it's not just uprooted like that. So right now, if you're feeling constricted or feeling restricted, or like you can't find a way and there is no way, it just may mean that your roots are being so soiled and so deeply rooted, so that you're anchored in your truth and your power to blossom. That's a new word. Blossom and blossom in your time and your way. And that's something I struggle with. Uh-oh, my battery's running low. Oh goodness, it's okay. Everything's okay. William said exactly. Take a breath. Take a step back, yes, and just breathe. That's what I'm really getting right now, because COVID and racism is dealing with the breath. COVID and racism, people don't believe until it affects them personally. And it all kind of deals with the essence of life, which is breathing and breath work. And that's my personal mission too, like you, to lift and inspire people. And every Wednesday, that's what I plan to do. So what are you saying? You're saying, Camille, thank you. That's been my conundrum. Thank you. I'm doing my own break now. Yes. Yes, take that break, and trusting. Kevin is saying sometimes it's not listening to loved ones that think they're saving your heartache by. I agree, absolutely. What do you do with that, Vanessa? What do you do with people who aren't necessarily seeing your vision?
Unfortunately, you just have to keep pushing on. There are going to be people that come along and who don't see your vision. That's because it's not their vision, it's your vision, and that's what you have to get comfortable with not getting the validation from people that you may necessarily be seeking from. Don't get validation from people. Get validation from yourself for what you're doing. Make sure that your plan is rock solid, and you'll grow and learn as you go. But that will happen. Those are the things that are there to deter us. Those are the things. They might be fearful. They don't want you to get hurt. That's that false appearing real I was talking about earlier.
Exactly.
They're playing out their fears on you, and you have to disconnect from that, even if it is family. It happens all the time.
Especially if it's family. Exactly. Yeah. And you have to go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. And my yeah, was that I haven't had a few of them, but I didn't get to it. Was that a yes, Hunty? So let me go back to the comments. My best friend Audrey was saying, get vertically aligned and remember source. Yes, vertically aligned up in here instead of out here in the world. Absolutely. And remember source. And I think that's kind of what this whole conversation goes back to. Jessica saying ditto. Yes, especially family. T-drop. Thank you, Camille. Y'all, I have 5% on my thing, but it's okay. We're gonna wrap up under the hour anyway. If you have some more last minute thoughts or questions for the inspiration and the beauty that is Vanessa, please go ahead and drop them in the chat now in the tea room, so that we can get to that. Also, something you said, Vanessa, about what we could do right now made me think of this, and that is the power of the pivot. And sometimes in dance, I'm a dancer, or it used to be at least, you pivot, you put one foot down and you step and you turn, but this foot is still planted. And so I think sometimes we have to do that in our life. We have to like be where we are, but shift our perspective slightly and do something new, do something different that isn't a part of the original plan. And when things don't go as planned, that might be part of the grand pivot, where it's actually a redirection into a way that you couldn't see. I've had experiences like that. Have you had where things worked out better than you thought and you were trying to do?
It's all about our power being flexible, which is also really an important part of success, is learning how to be flexible, not being so rigid in your ways. Like the goal and the main bigger picture will always remain the same, but it might just take a shift in perspective. It might just take a shift in direction to get you to the goal, you know?
Right.
That's what you have to be open to doing, to being flexible. It's a big part.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And flexibility goes back to what we were saying, which is the movement. Moving your body moves your life. And I imagine in your 30-day fitness challenge, you guys are working with flexibility, because I find when I'm stretching my body, it helps me stretch my thoughts. And when I'm feeling constricted in my body, I can tend to be myopic in my thoughts.
Well, they say stretching allows you to stretch into your full body's core. I learned that a while ago. Like stretching really gets your body in tune with your soul so that you can make the right decisions.
Yes.
Move in the right way.
So there's so many gems dropped. So what's the takeaway here, y'all, that we all got to get in Vanessa's 30-day challenge first and foremost? We have to stay breathing, journaling, meditating. I'm actually thinking of offering a course on some of my meditation practices. I mean, MediTEAtions is a form of that. So thank you all for being here. Please keep showing up and spreading the word. I appreciate you all, because I think this is so needed right now. So many people are looking for their light, for their own luminosity. And that's what this glow is about. So let me take this little ticker off because it's annoying me. As we wrap this up, our topic, and let me pull it up here, glowing into your purpose and your potential. I would love just your last words on what that means for you personally.
First of all, I just want to say I've loved this conversation. It's helped me tremendously. So I'm going to go into my day, just a little bit more positive. And I feel like that brings me to a purpose of telling you guys to make sure that you're surrounding yourself by the right people, having the right conversations, because that will essentially push you into your destiny. We need these conversations to push us forward. And this is what this conversation has meant to me. I hope that that's what you guys take away from it. Like, they're just different tools to getting into that divine purpose, and make sure that you're feeding your minds the right thing.
I love that, Vanessa. Thank you so much for that, because as I always say, your talk path will influence your walk path. So
I have some tea suggestions too. So I was feeling really stressed last week by everything going on the last 3 weeks, Black Lives Matters and everything, and trying to find my way to help. This stress support tea has done amazing things. Amazing. Made me feel amazing right away. Sweet energy. What is this? Positive energy. Tell you, this is an perfect energy, which are like focused.
I love that.
These teas, these yogi teas, they make a difference. You feel so good.
And I love the Yogi brand. I don't have Yogi today, but they also are very vocal about Black Lives Matter and about humanity and human rights. So I love that, because the teas that I drink, it's important for me that I am, they're aligned with my core values. So I'm always checking to see, are they taking a stance? To that point, I'm actually in the process of developing my own tea line, which I'll be launching soon, that has a lot of these natural properties and the emotional affirmative properties that you talked about. So I'll share that with you guys. But
I hope you have craft services.
Yeah, absolutely. I will have other craft services, and I will send you your own little packet. But let's get some last questions while I have my 2% here.
Not 2%.
I know, it's okay. I'm gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. This was a great comment. Thank you so much. This was so needed. God bless you. I thank you so much for being here, Kels Wells. I love that. Yes, those yogi teas. Awesome. Great conversation. Thank you so much, William. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the energy, the vortex of creation and inspiration that's created every Wednesday. So thank you for being here. I'm actually going to take a pause. You are my season finale, Vanessa, for 2 weeks. I will be back on July, I think it's 15th. So you guys, please look out and share this, because you dropped some wonderful gems, Vanessa. I think I had a couple of things to share also, and your comments were great. So I've got 1%.
Thank you so much, Caryn, for having me. And this conversation was so needed and awesome. So I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you, Vanessa.
you.
Me too. I'll see you on set.
Bye, guys.
Bye, family. Bye, guys. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.